Okay. Alright, so let's move on. Once again, please send in. The sign link will be at the end as well, so if you send me it then should be good to go. Oh, really? Oh, so, okay, sick. Alright, so Katie, would you like to lead the icebreaker today?
Oh, sure.
Sure? Okay. Here's the mic and you can lead it.
Alright everybody, so today's icebreaker is hot seat, and if you haven't played the game before yet, basically what we do is we call on one random person to answer questions for 1 minute. You guys are allowed to ask any questions as long as it's appropriate. Is there any volunteer? Okay, do you want to answer the questions or you'll start?
I'll start, and then we'll okay, yeah, so I'll start it off. So once again, you guys may like blurt it out. You don't have to like raise your hand or anything. This is an icebreaker. So, yeah, let's start. I don't really have like a timer thing, so I just based off the clock there. So, start 3, 2, 1, go. So any question for me? Color. Favorite color, blue. Food. No, ice cream. Let's say that.
How do you feel?
I feel good. Oh, I feel so good. That's not the question. Hobbies? I like stocks and money. Yeah. No way.
I have video footage playing yesterday.
and then I have golf too. Yeah, I play golf. So ice cream probably. I don't know. Favorite dessert? Wait. Okay, favorite food. Okay, favorite food? I don't know. Hey, cheeseburgers are pretty good. So there you go. Favorite car? I don't have one. Anything that goes quick and goes zoom is pretty cool to me. So there you go. Birthday August 17, 2006.
Do you like your money in cash or investments?
That's an interesting question, actually. Well, I would say investments as long as those investments are smart investments. There you go.
What kind of animal do you like to eat the most?
Animal? That's an odd question. No, I mean, I guess cow is the only correct answer. Yeah.
The only correct answer?
Sure.
Chicken or beef?
Yeah. Good. Game? Oh. I'm gonna skip that question. Okay, yeah, that's way more than that. Okay, any volunteers who would like to? Nolan, yeah, okay. Michelle, yeah.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, start. Give a question to Nolan. How tall are you?
Like a little bit less than 6'1".
So like 6'1".
Yeah.
Favorite food?
Ribs.
He's got 6'8". Favorite restaurant?
Favorite word?
Shogun. Huh?
Favorite word?
Absolutely.
How do you like your steak?
Medium rare.
Okay. How rare?
Or it's mooing. Okay.
Favorite dessert?
Deep fried ice cream.
What's your social security number?
581.
What's your body dimension? X, Y, Z.
W.
What's your Any other questions? What happened on June 4, 1989? Is Taiwan a country?
Depends what map you look on.
Oh, it's not
Yeah. Is Taiwan?
Any more final questions?
What are your thoughts on John Cena?
You mean John Cena?
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Nolan, for volunteering. Would anyone else like to volunteer? We can do one or two more, and then we'll start the main meeting. Yeah, alright, yeah. Yeah. Thank you for volunteering. Owen, hello, hello.
Okay, yeah. So go ahead, 3, 2, 1, go. Favorite thing, chilling. What's your favorite ice cream?
Chocolate.
If you could be an animal, what animal would you be?
A gorilla.
Is there a particular reason why you want to be a gorilla?
They're really cool.
Is it more for the height or the beating?
Huh?
What?
If you had one wish, what would it be?
One what?
One wish.
Money.
Sorry.
How tall are you?
Gorilla.
5'3". Yeah.
If the entire Sahara Desert is covered in solar panels, how many joules of energy will it generate?
Oh, a lot.
Excellent answer.
Enough.
Maybe dessert.
I don't have one.
Wow. Give like a couple.
Do you eat liquids or solids?
What?
Both. Favorite what?
Do you
Ice cream is my favorite dessert.
Do you consider drinking water eating?
No.
You just said drinking water.
Yes. I don't have a reason for that.
What's your favorite dimension?
Z.
Okay.
Do you really think Mr. Angelo is coming?
Yes, a lot.
Okay, any final questions for Owen? No? Okay, thank you, Owen, for participating.
Do you want to do one more, or are you good? Yeah? Are you good? Okay, cool. So let's move on. Thank you everyone for participating. Hopefully you guys learned a little bit more about myself. So, you guys have seen this time and time again. I always have to make this disclaimer because all of this is just information. Please don't go out and lose a bunch of money and then blame it on this, because I am simply providing information and I am not a licensed professional. If you want investment advice, please find one. So there you go. Okay, Charlie, would you like to talk about this real quick? Alright guys, so just a reminder, if you use this QR code, you can check our attendance spreadsheet. So if you actually care about your attendance, you can check that to make sure we correctly marked it down. Thank you, Charlie. So yeah. Yeah, so please check it. We'll give it like around 40 seconds. Just scan the QR code and just take a look if all the attendance records are accurate to your knowledge. If it's not, then once again, please either let me or Charlie know at the end of the meeting. And yeah, so I'll give it another like 15 seconds if anyone else would like to look at it. If not, we will move on. Okay, so these were the main takeaways from last meeting. So we talked about a bid and ask. A bid is essentially the highest price a buyer would bid for, and ask is the lowest price a seller would sell for. Penny stocks are stocks that are generally like extremely cheap, usually under $5. They can be easily manipulated through pump and dumps, where a promoter essentially just promotes a penny stock and then sells when the stock peaks. So those are the main takeaways from last meeting. Okay, there you go. Alright, so okay, yeah, Nolan, you want to talk about this?
Absolutely.
Okay, everyone, this is our agenda. Numero uno. market update. First, we will take a look at how the market is doing. Okay, terms. Next, we will look at some key terms. Okay, these are going to be really interesting and fun. Our hedge funds. After, we'll take a really quick dive into hedge funds and all their funness. And then paper trading buys, plus our conclusion. Stay tuned.
Thank you, Nolan, for talking about our agenda.
Yes.
And yeah, let's move on. So, market update. Alright, so for today, at least, the indexes, the market isn't looking too hot. We will talk about, we'll talk about that right now, why actually. So as you can see on the right hand side, the graphic, you can see basically all except one sector in the stock market are all in green. So that's something we can talk about right now. So why do you guys think the market today, especially, and all the indexes are going down? Why are they doing badly?
Is it cold?
Not college jobs. Any other ideas, maybe? This will be one of the topics we'll kind of like talk about through our terms as well.
Oh, because it's a Tuesday? Like, the market?
No, it doesn't have anything to do with the yeah. So, well, the reasoning is right now we are in a bullish market. We'll talk about that very shortly about what that means. So, because of this, the market always goes up and down, up and down, up and down. So when it gets to a point where the market is like it's growing a lot, then investors get worried that it will eventually drop, and that is what's happening today. So recently the market has been doing extremely good, almost too good at a dangerous level, and that is why investors have been selling, and therefore all of these stocks are dropping. Along with also earnings, not some specific companies like PayPal, they didn't really reach their earnings, and because of that, a lot of investors have sold as well. So, and then also something I want to talk about is the creation of the metaverse. I'm sure you guys have heard that Facebook have rebranded into a company called Meta. So, what do you guys think this creation will have? What kind of impact will it have on specific sectors? Any ideas? Well, first of all, has anyone heard of it? Heard of Facebook rebranding to Meta? Okay, a couple of you, okay. So, why do you think this will have an impact in these sectors, specifically the technology sector? Any ideas? Yeah, that's it. Yes, he's the CEO of Facebook, yeah. Would you like to elaborate on that? No? Okay, awesome.
Not an explanation. Can you explain what metaverse is?
I will talk about that after if you guys try to search on that, yeah.
Most likely more younger people will be out like that.
Yeah, so you're close, I guess. So the creation of the metaverse is essentially like, I guess Facebook is trying to create a new kind of like, almost a new internet. And this is something that's very important because it is something that is kind of unheard of. And the impact on the sectors it will have, especially the technology sectors, is that I'm sure you guys have heard that companies like AMD and NVIDIA have been increasing a lot these couple days because they have been partnering with Meta and they've been doing advancements on this new like internet thing. So that is why you want to keep a lookout on electronic technology, which is actually 10% increase as a sector. So yeah, just take a look at that. It's really interesting and it's quite complex. So that is our market update. And now we will talk about some key terms. So let's see. William, you want to talk about this first one?
Okay, so this term is bullish. All right. It's I guess it's referring to a period of time when a market or a specific stock is looking like it's relatively on the uptrend. For example, right now the market is bullish. This generally means the market is, as a whole, is doing well.
Yeah. So just to elaborate on that, like I said before, the market recently has been doing quite well, and because of this, like I said before, the market goes up and down, up and down, up and down. So it is very likely that we will I guess, have a bearish market, which we'll talk about in the next slide. So also on the slide there, you can also see that bullish doesn't necessarily mean only the market as a whole. You can talk about a specific stock being bullish, and that goes into like fundamental and technical analysis, which we will also talk about in our later meetings. So you'll hear these two terms a lot when you're talking about stocks and investing, so it's just good to know. And like I said, bearish, aka a bear market, is, as opposed to a bullish market, it's quite literally the opposite. So if a market is bearish, that means they're generally on a downtrend. And once again, this can also be applied with specific stocks. So like I said before, PayPal. The issue with PayPal right now is that they missed their earnings, and investors are kind of worried about their new partnership with Venmo and Amazon. And because of that, their stock can be considered as bearish because they have a general downtrend as of recently. So also, these two terms can both be used for short-term, mid-term, and long-term. So that's also something you do want to kind of understand. And next, we will talk about the final term, actually, is a spread. So a spread refers to the gap between the bid and ask price. So generally, a low spread will generally have kind of indicate, I guess, high liquidity and generally like pretty reliable. They're usually the bigger companies. And this is because the lower the spread is, basically you won't be able to make as much, you won't be able to lose as much money if you sell or make as much money if you buy. So, or vice versa, actually. But the point is, you do want to look at these low spreads because they will have high volume and high liquidity, and as a result, you will be able to profit easily, and you can generally trust that this company is reliable. And as opposed to like these high companies, if we talk about like penny stocks, if you look at the bid for the spread for those, you will see that the bid and ask price are generally like they have a huge gap, which is where you talk about a high spread. So it all applies vice versa here. And next, we will talk about hedge funds. So I'm sure you guys have heard the term and might not necessarily mean what these, I guess, huge funds are. So a hedge fund is essentially a group of people that use investors' money that in order to play aggressive, and their number one goal is to make profit. So yeah, like I said, making profit. So they're generally more risky than mutual funds, and they charge fees and also tend to use borrowed money to make a profit. They also short/long various stocks. Now, can anyone think about a situation where hedge funds have been in the news recently? Pretty recent.
Like yesterday?
No, not that recent. But like, within 6 months. It's not meant to be like an accurate.
Yeah.
AMC?
Yes, there you go. All right, yeah. So AMC and GameStop. So I'm sure you guys have heard a lot about the GameStop thing and how investors on, I guess you can call them investors, on people on Reddit basically grouped up and bought a bunch of AMC and GameStop stocks because they realized that these hedge funds, these like extremely wealthy people, they've been shorting GameStop, and we'll talk about this like super in depth. I think in the next couple meetings for sure. So yeah, so that is one huge, I guess, piece of news that has been going around the past couple months. So more on them. So hedging as like a term in finance just means to limit risk. So funnily enough, I know how hedge funds generally like take in a more aggressive approach, but they do also try to eliminate risk. So you also have to keep in mind that many of these investors are extremely wealthy people, and the money they're putting into these hedge funds, they probably won't even care if they lose all of it. And that is why these hedge funds are successful, because they know that their audience is generally people that are extremely wealthy, and they don't really care whether they're going to lose their money or not. This way, they can actually play extremely risky and aggressive to get these profits, and to both gain during bullish, like we talked about before, and bearish markets. So, like I said before, we will break down the whole like GameStop and Reddit situation very soon in our upcoming meetings. So, yeah, stay tuned for that. So that is just some information on hedge funds. Okay, so this is a graphic by Investopedia. They're a really solid and generally unbiased site if you do want to learn more about these type of investing strategies and just terms in general. So if you want to take a look at the pros and cons there real quick. So some pros, they do profit during rising, which is bullish, and bearish, which is falling markets. They balance portfolios, and they have various styles to choose from, and they are also managed by people who know what they're doing. And cons, losses can be extremely potentially huge. About the GameStop thing, a lot of these hedge funds had to be bailed out by other hedge funds because these, essentially, just a brief explanation, shorting a stock is where you bet on the stock that it will go down. So essentially you borrow money from someone else and you bet that the stock will go down. And because all these people kind of pushed this GameStop and these AMC stocks all the way up, that means they had to eventually return that money. And when they had to return them, they had to buy them at a higher price, which made them lose money. So you can see how this is generally pretty risky unless you're these very huge hedge funds that you can have a lot to lose and also have a bunch of backups. So less liquidity, so it takes longer to get your money back essentially if you do want to kind of bail out of it. And lots of funds for extended periods, and also use leverages, aka borrowing money to potentially increase losses. So, alright, so next we will talk about our paper trading segment. Okay, so last meeting, we actually created a paper trading account. So we have $100,000 to play with. So right now I'll just kind of log into that account right now, and then I'd like to get some stock recommendations from you guys, and we can kind of play with them and see how it does next week. So I'm gonna log in. Alright, so disregard all those ads there, but would anyone like to add a recommendation that we potentially would like to buy? Hold on, I need to find. Oh, here it is. Okay, cool. So once again, we do have $1,000, $100,000, of course, fake money to play with. So would anyone like to recommend a stock? Alex?
Upstart.
Say that again?
Upstart.
Upstart. What, do you know what the symbol is? Is it just UP start? Upstart? If so, I can see if it's on here. Okay. I think it's here.
Yeah.
Is that it? Okay, do you have any reasoning?
Yeah, so they posted earnings today, and they beat earnings expectations by 80% and revenue expectations by 6%, but they're down 19% in the post-market hours, so I think it's a good time to buy.
Huh, okay, that's very interesting. So, the thing with this actually, when a stock is down after hours, it will actually be cheaper to buy the next morning. So because of after hours, and I don't think this software has the ability to place trades after hours, but I will, how many? Since it is $300 and I would like to not spend the whole portfolio just so we can get various options. So how many shares?
It's risky, so I do like
5 or 10?
$10,000 or 5,000?
So 15, you would say?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll replace that actually tomorrow morning. So it's like cheaper and we'll see how it goes from there. Thank you. Okay, cool. So that's one. We also, I'm pretty sure we can do cryptos as well. So any recommendations? Just any stocks that you just like to try out, see what happens?
Doge doesn't work, does it?
Doge unfortunately does not work. Or we checked it last time. It was there, but we couldn't like.
My Roblox.
Okay, that's actually not a horrible idea. Wait, we can't. Wait. Okay, we actually can buy Doge. Never mind. I lied.
No.
So.
We need to buy Roblox stock.
Okay, is there a reasoning behind Roblox stock? Other from it's
You don't buy it
now because it went up, and you don't buy it now.
in children, buying Robux is prominent. Okay.
I understand that.
Amazing time to buy.
Yeah. Okay, is that like the main reason that they're like I guess profitable with their in-game currency?
Exactly.
Okay, well, see, Roblox is actually one of those companies that also are impacted by the metaverse. So, I don't think that's a horrible buy. Now, in the next couple meetings, we'll probably teach about some technical analysis stuff, and we'll be able to, yeah, so right now it is growing, wait.
Okay. Thoughts on like buying it while it's red and then just keeping it in there until it's like making a big profit?
Oh yeah, so that is, I think that's called dip trading, I'm pretty sure. So whenever a stock dips, people, or these type of investors, they buy it and then they just, yeah, but you never know what's gonna happen.
If it's gonna rise.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of one of the risks, and you kind of have to wake up every day at 6:30 or 6 actually, and then just watch the stock market. And not a lot of people want to do that, but yeah, that is one of the tactics. So how many? Yeah. Go ahead. What was that, Austin?
Explain what a metaverse is.
Okay, yeah. So a metaverse is something that Facebook is trying to develop. It's very complex. I guess you could think about it like it's a second internet, but I think it has to do a lot with virtual reality as well, developments in that. So yeah, but it is really interesting. So yeah, it does have a lot of impact in all of these technology companies along with Roblox as well. So I guess we could buy some just because I see the day change. I'm not sure if this is completely correct, but $32 in one day is extremely high. So we can.
Exactly.
Okay, we'll just. How many do you want to buy? We can buy like 10 shares.
Want more Robux? Let's go all in.
It's probably not a smart idea to go all in. Okay, so it is 110. I mean, we can put in 20. Just 2,000?
Yeah.
20,000. No, only okay. Let's put in 20 shares. That sounds good. Yeah, just so we see how it goes. Yeah. All right. Sick. And then this will. Yeah, like I said before, you're not going to be able to place trades after hours, so it will take place tomorrow morning.
Excellent.
And there you go. Cool. Any other ideas? Honestly, oh yeah, Vincent. Okay, yeah, that is interesting. So, I will check if they have it. I'm not completely sure. So there is a lot of stuff here. I'm pretty sure one of QVA generally means like, but it is a trust, I believe. Yeah, and it has to do with the Nasdaq, I believe. So, why do you guys think this stock specifically, or this like I guess fund has gone down? We talked about this in the market update. If this is a fund that directly correlates with Nasdaq, and Nasdaq is down, what do you think this will be? Exactly, yeah, so that's probably why it's down. But I'm down to purchase some shares as well. It is 400, so I'll do some tests here. 10 will be around 4,000, that sounds good. Yep, 10 shares? Alrighty, confirmed. Anything else? Again, there are cryptocurrencies. I don't know if we can buy like fractional shares, which is like half of the Bitcoin, but I guess that'd be pretty cool.
Cryptocurrencies like grow at the same rate. Like I know they.
It's hard to say. It's hard to say.
So it's like you can't tell. It's just like you put like $1 down and then it's like $10 there.
Well, see, some of these cryptos are basically like penny stocks. Like, for example, Doge, they're like less than a penny. Or, yeah, well, Doge is actually way more. But like, there's some cryptos that are like less than a penny. And because of this, it's super easy to manipulate. And you can't really tell where these go. But, just for my personal interest, I will see if I can do half of a Bitcoin. Because Bitcoin is 60K, which is insane. Or maybe I can do like 0.2, half is still too much. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to do that, probably not. But oh, we can. Okay, sick. Alright, I am very happy about that. So, okay, so will you guys agree with the purchase of 0.1 Bitcoin? Just to see how it goes, just track it. Absolutely, sounds good. Alright, and it's only around 7K, so we still got a bunch of money in the tank if we do want to place more trades. And alright, anything else? Any Tesla? Okay, I like that pick. I like that pick a lot because Tesla has been still above $1,000, which is extremely just crazy. So even though it's down a lot today, it's still at 1,000, and it is crazy. So how many shares? Like 5, since it's like 1,000. Yeah. So let's do 5 is a solid number, around 5,000. So we get more space to some more. Confirm. There you go. Yep. Netflix. I like that pick as well. Is there any reason? I want to see. There we. Okay. Yeah. I like this kid a lot. So yeah. So Netflix. I'm currently in a. Yeah. So the reasoning behind this is very good. This is. I think it's called like. Wait. Is this right? No. This is crypto. What am I doing? Nut. Okay, I can't type. Thank you. NFLX. There we go. Okay, how many shares do you think? It's 6. We can aim for like 10 sounds good to me. Yeah, 6,000-7,000. So yeah, so about Netflix, it has been growing a lot because of its popularity and also because of coronavirus. When you have time, a bunch of leisure time to spend, a lot of people looked at Netflix, and that's why a lot of, especially Netflix, have been profiting. Does 10 shares sound good to you? Yeah? Everyone? Yeah? Alright. Okay, I think that's a good amount of trades put in. We'll check again, actually in like 3-4 weeks actually. So, alright, let's go back to the main part here. Okay, main takeaways, just real quick. A bullish market is a period of time where the market is in the general uptrend and the bearish is the opposite. The spread is the difference between the bid and ask price, and hedge funds are powerful groups that utilize investors' money in order to build strategic, aggressive portfolios aimed at making profits. Okay, I don't have post-it notes unfortunately, so no. I guess we can skip this segment since I forgot to bring post-its, but yeah, so these are our socials. Once again, if you need the signing code, it is right there for you. And follow Instagram, join our Remind, take a look at our link tree, and look at our YouTube, because that's where all the recording goes. Alright, thank you. Okay, so this is a very important reminder that our next meeting will be the 30th of November. So, usually it's every other week, but because the week after next week is Thanksgiving break, we will be back the week after Thanksgiving break. So thank you everyone for coming. We'll see you on the 30th.